How you doing, Josh?
Hey, I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Good.
Oh, awesome. Well, thank you for taking the time to do this interview.
I appreciate you wanting to talk to me.
Oh, not a problem. And of course, we're here to talk about the brand new release from Enuff's Enough, Clown's Lounge, which is coming out on Friday through Frontiers. How did this release come about?
Well, real simple. After waiting 20 years for another major label to come crawl at our feet, we were lucky enough to have the guy who displaced Derek Shulman reach out to us and say, I have a label called Frontiers. I want to put another Enuff Snuff album out. Do you have any material? And of course, through the years, I've been saving up all the tracks for everything we've recorded. And I just went into the catalog and looked at the material that we had, tried to find the best dozen songs that would represent the Enuff Snuff as it is back then and as we are today, and was able to put together a nice little record of a dozen great rock songs showing the best elements of Enuff Snuff.
Yeah, and that's what I really appreciate about the whole album is it does show that diversity and that sound that you guys have always had, and throughout all 12 songs, with them being reworked for a new release, it really came out fantastic.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I was surprised that I was able to find. I wanted to make sure that the record was going to fit along this the same template as what Enuff Snuff used in the past, which is not only strong songs but good recordings. And most of these songs were recorded on 2-inch analog. Nowadays, everybody's making records on Pro Tools. If we had to do this record over again and record it like that today, it would cost us about $80,000 to $100,000. But I was able to pull out all the 2-inch stuff that I had at the house, along with my DAT tapes that I saved through the years, and was able to and pick the best dozen songs that I thought represented Enuff Snuff today. And we were able to do that because we made some good inroads with some recording studios here in Chicago, and I have my own studio here as well. And between the three studios I worked out of, I was able to pinpoint exactly what needed to be done and put together a great record, I think.
Yeah, and that's got to make it a bit easier when you're able to have your own studio to be able to work on a new project.
It certainly does. Those recordings probably cost us, back then we had a management company that had the studio, but we got charged quite a bit of money for those recordings, and they just sat there. And we were writing so much at the time. We had no idea what was going to happen if they'd ever see the light of day. But we knew they were strong songs, and we had major label budgets in the early days, so we were able to continue to make records without having to go back and look at any of the old stuff. But when this album came about, it was only fitting to go back and grab those songs that Enuff Snuff first wrote in their early inception with Atco Records, and the guy that actually helped discover the band, Derek Shulman. So he was pleasantly surprised when he heard the record. Frontiers thought we had some good stuff, and they signed us to a 2-album deal, and I think we got something pretty good right here. Only time will tell if this is just a bandage on a gunshot wound for Enuff Snuff, because we've certainly went through some tough times throughout our career with major labels and with independent labels as is. But I think that right here, it's a good representation of what Enuff Snuff sounds like and what we're known to do, which is, I think, to write great pop songs and play it aggressively. It's a really strong glitter rock record for today, I think.
Yeah, I definitely gotta agree, and that's the great thing about being on Frontiers is they have such great representation of rock music, and it does feel like a natural fit for you to be on there with all of the circumstances, and I think that they'll give you the right push to be able to get your name out there for everybody to enjoy with a brand new album.
That's the first thing I thought about when Derek Shulman called me. I thought, here's another chance for Enuff Snuff. There's still no gas in this tank when the average life expectancy of any band is like 4 or 5 years for us to be going out. This will be, I put the band together in 1984. I was 11 years old then, by the way, just in case anybody wants to know. That's a lie. So I put together the band in 1984, and we were discovered by Derek Shulman in 1988. Our first album came out August 22nd of 1989. And for us to be out here 27 years later, most guys our age aren't getting record deals. Labels don't want to give any money. They don't want to spend anything. They just want stuff for free. But they have a great label like Frontiers to take a chance on us. And there's some good bands on the label, White Snake and of course, Journey and Sebastian Bach, REO Speedwagon, Striper. They got quite an illustrious catalog. To be lumped in with those bands is quite an honor.
Yeah, and that says a lot about the staying power that you have as well to be able to, like you said, get a record deal in 2016 with such a label like that.
We weren't expecting it. I was sitting home one day when Derek approached me and said, I'd like to put another Enuff Snuff album out. Do you have any material? At the time, we were just playing one-off gigs. We were, doing some festivals. We did the Monster Rock stuff, and we did the M3 festival. And we just trying to keep working a little bit and try to find a groove. The new band. I got Tony Fennell from Ultravox playing with us. Former singer of Ultravox, terrific musician. I got my own guitar player, Tori Stolfragu, in the band. He's been with us for a long time. And we have a new drummer. His name is Daniel Hill. So I think I put together a pretty good band. These guys really believe in the legacy of Enuff's Enuff. And we went back to the studio, recorded a single for the record to add on to our existing tracks of a record which I like to call an archival record. I don't want to fool anybody, and everybody thinks it's, we just went to the studio last week and started recording. These are songs that I had to go back in and tweak some stuff up, but for the most part, there are original recordings with the original band, and it's basically live in the studio with very minimal overdubs, and I didn't really touch it. I had a bonus track, Dog and a Bone, for a single, but for the most part, it's an authentic, straight-ahead, glitter rock record in your face, with showing the great elements of Enuff's Enuff.
And another great element with that, besides the great music that you're showing off in 2016 from those early days, is being able to show Jani Lane again on a new recording for 2016.
Thanks, bro. I'm glad you recognized that. Jani Lane was a big fan of Enuff's Enuff. He was a great friend of ours. We've always loved his songwriting sensibilities along with his beautiful vocals. Guy had his own timbre. He's a wonderful singer. And to get him to be able to come down and play and sing and play on a track, one of the last tracks he sang on, it's quite an honor. And then, of course, J.Y. from Styx certainly didn't hurt at all coming down there and playing. He's always been the balls of Styx. Incendiary guitar player, a wonderful man, by the way. We've grown to be good friends, and to have them both on a song together, I think the Frontiers is tickled. Hear the record and hear Jani singing a song with J.Y. from Styx. Those two collectively have sold about 50 million records. So it's quite an honor to have them both on the record with us. And I think the fans are going to be real happy with it. Not only the Warren fans, but Jani Lane's family as well.
Oh, I definitely agree. That's one of my favorite tracks off the album, and it's really showcasing both of them in a great light, and it's a great song that you get. I'm glad that you had these songs around so you were able to show them off.
I appreciate that, and there's a plethora of material. I probably have 5 or 6 albums of unreleased stuff here, but I really wanted to showcase the band in its best light. I wanted to take the best recordings. Those are all done in major studios on 2-inch tape, analog, which nobody does that now. Everybody's got Pro Tools. They're all in the studio, and you punch stuff in, you can tweak it up and play with it all you want to. These recordings were, basically the band in the studio counted off 1, 2, 3, 4, and play the song and try to get a great performance. Write a good song and get a great performance. That was what we were trying to do at the time. And with the good Lord's blessing, I think we were able to do that on this record. Trust me, there was a lot of tough moments in making those records. It brings back great memories because it was the band together, all of us playing as a unit, a cohesive team. However, there was a lot of elements that we had to go through at the time. Sneaking in the studio at 2 o'clock in the morning. The substance abuse was ridiculous. No different than any other band, but we found ourselves in bed in trying times, with substance abuse. But I think that helped propel the songs a little bit too, to be honest with you. I hate to admit it, but a lot of my favorite bands, my favorite part of those bands was when they were going through tough times, and that's how you got the great songs. And I'll tell you, no one's making fucking great rock records and milk and cookies, okay?
Oh, it's true. And yeah, I mean, you said it best. Sometimes it takes those struggles within a band. Sometimes it makes the band dissolve, but sometimes it also makes for the band's best albums as well. And it takes those trying times to, if you can survive, to make the band last that much longer.
And we would sneak in the studios late at night to make these records, and it was hard to be up. And the management company, along with the band, was out of control. We were unmanageable. And this is right before Doc McGee took over and started managing the band early in our inception. So it was a band that was unmanageable at the time, with management company completely out of control. Nobody bringing in the reins. The only guy that was really straight in the band was myself, trying to keep it focused for the band to try to make a good record. But I think those songs were triggered by the tough times that we had growing up, and some of the substance abuse added to those great songs and melody lines and inspiration. And when it was all said and done, when we finished those recordings, a lot of it stuff just sat aside because we were writing so much that we just let it slip through the cracks, not knowing that we'd ever use any of this material. And I think other bands have experienced this as well, where they put new records out, but they went back into the vault and found stuff that they thought was interesting or that would fit today. And most of the songs that Donnie and I have written are about everyday experiences that we went through that you have as well. And I think that with a lot of these songs that were captured, and they're timeless. You can't just say, well, they were written 20 years ago and it's in an old record, because it's not. Life moves on. You can't save time. You can't avoid it. You got to use it now.
And when you think about it, is there any fine examples of those songs that were written in trying times that you can look back and really feel that representation of being able to live now and just the struggle of life?
I think every single song on the record is like that. There's single moments that are, it's like serendipity, a moment of clarity. I can't pinpoint any songs for you because it takes away from the listener. I like to leave the songs vague and open, and however the audience interprets it, it's great. Like, instead of me saying, okay, it's about this, or it's about this chick, or about this time, or how much cocaine I did back then, you listen to the song and then you make your own judgment and determination on what it's about. I think that's the most important thing. Leave it up to the audience.
That is a great way to look at it too, because I know some people will not enjoy a song as much if they know it's different than how they originally interpreted it. So when you have open interpretation, you can maintain that level of enjoyment.
I think you're safer that way.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, obviously, there's some songs that are pretty self-explanatory, but it's always better to leave it up to the listener. I never heard Pink Floyd or Led Zeppelin talking about where the songs came from. They just wrote them and played them and sang them, and everybody goes, hey, cool. And later on, you find out, oh, Zeppelin's got this one from Willie Dixon, or Hound Dog Taylor, or Albert King, or whoever they got it from, one of the blues artists, or Pink Floyd was inspired by so-and-so. But that's up to everybody else to find out. These songs that we've written are simply about life through our eyes, and maybe you'll experience it as well, and it's better that way.
Oh, definitely agreed. So when you are able to do these one-off shows on these great festivals representing what you play, how hard is it for you to create a set list that you...
I don't think you're ever happy if you're an artist if you're playing for 45 minutes. I like playing 2-hour shows. That's where it's at, where you can really showcase your whole catalog. But that being said, on this year's tour, and we've probably done 80 dates this year, so it's been a good year for us playing shows. I'm focusing on the first 3 records. Those were the most commercial selling, most commercially successful of our albums, because we were on a major label back then, and with Atlantic and also with Arista. So it was easier for me to look at the songs and go, you know what, people know New Things Fly on the Shelf. They know Baby Loves You and Heaven or Hell. I'm going to focus in the groove. I want to focus on the songs in the first 3 records. And then I'll see how big it gets and how it grows. If it does well, I'll add to the catalog. Let me tell you, these songs aren't easy to sing. My brother's going to go down as, in my opinion, as one of the greatest singers of our generation. I was in the studio. I created these songs with him. I watched him. Not only a great songwriter, but a terrific vocalist, and he plays all the instruments as well. He's just underrated beyond belief. Excuse me, smoking pot right now. But I think that, and when it's all said and done, you got yourself a great rock record with the original Enuff Snuff. It's an archival record featuring the best elements of the band. And I'm just grateful that here I am at this day and age, and you have a chance to go out and play these songs. And when you come see us next year, we'll be out on tour. I think we're going out Lace Freely for a couple of months. I'll put a couple of songs in the setup, maybe Rockin' by Dreamland, Dog on a Bone, She Makes It Harder. There'll be songs in the set for the new album, but I'll also be focusing on those first 3 records, too, that have done very well for us. The first 2 records were gold. We're real proud of that. and I think the fans want to hear those songs, the ones that they hear on XM and Sirius Radio, and the Boneyard, and on Hair Nations, and the stations that actually play Enuff Enough. It's only fair to the fans. When you go see a concert, people want to hear songs that they know. You go see Kiss, they're playing the hits. You go see Cheap Trick, they're playing this stuff that everybody knows. I Want You to Want Me and Surrender. And we're taking the same template. We're going to focus on the songs that were singles, that were radio supported, that MTV wasn't for those stations, we wouldn't even be known. And then if it grows, I'll expand the set.
Oh. Well, that's awesome. It's great to see the integrity is still there of being able to play the hits and play the occasional new song as well to help expand fans who may not even be familiar with new material to get that out there as well. Just a good combination of both. You're doing it right.
Thanks, bro. And listen, this is not easy. I never wanted this gig, okay? I sing it Enuff Enough every single record. I'm singing on every single song, but I mostly sing the harmonies. And Donnie insisted that on every single record I sing on a song or two lead because we thought it would be a good idea to show a different side of the band. Sort of stealing the same template from Queen, where Brian May or Roger Meadows Taylor would sing a song or two on a Queen record, but mostly it was Freddie. So now for me to be in the front there, it's a tough gig. But instead of following the same template as Journey or Styx or Stone Temple Pilots or Foreigner, where they went out and went across the pond and find different singers, I decided I'm going to do it myself. And Donnie right now, he's battling some medical conditions, but he seems to be in a good place right now. He's happy with the record. It's got a good energy. And we're going to go out there, we're going to play and take the show around the country and see where it takes us right now. There are no real expectations except we also want to play great shows. We want to reach all the fans out there that have been supportive throughout the years and maybe some new fans as well. And I think this Ace Tour is going to be really good for us. We have shows. Enuff Enough is playing all the way through until September of next year. We haven't had dates like this for 15 years, bro. It's another shot in the arm for us. There's still a little bit of gas in the tank, and I'm going to give it everything I got to turn everybody on to what we're doing and try to trip their triggers.
Oh, that is just so fantastic to hear. I mean, being a part of a great label for a great new collection of material and an amazing tour with Ace Frehley next year, I mean, it definitely sounds like you guys are on the right track, and I'm very happy to see that.
I appreciate that. Hey, label had no idea we were doing this. When we gave them the record, it was just, okay, we're going to make a record for them, and maybe they just thought the band was going to, go out and work once in a while and not take it. But I think since we signed with Frontiers, we've had a ton of shows. There's a new invested interest in the band. And it seems like a lot of our friends are coming out of the woodwork and wanting to really give us a hand. It seems like nothing's changed when it comes to the underdog. People want to help the underdog. We've always been the critics' darlings, and I'm not so sure what our songwriter is because lack of album sales, but the critics have always loved the band, so have rock bands. All our friends and guys in Green Day and Aerosmith and Cheap Trick and Foo Fighters have always been very kind, said good things about Enuff Enough. And maybe that's been the fuel in our tank. Whatever the case may be, it's another chance for us, and I'm going to take it as far as I can, bro.
Oh, and again, that just makes me so happy to hear that. And again, thank you for taking all this time to do this interview, to be able to promote Clown's Lounge, which is coming out on Friday through Frontiers, and all of the amazing stuff that you guys have looking forward to in the future. And I'm definitely looking forward to new material when you guys get that far to record the next album. Before we're done, is there anything else you'd like to mention that I haven't brought up yet?
You can check out my brother's solo record, or you can check out my last record, which is called Strange Time. It's through Cleopatra Records, actually, and it's got features Adler from Guns N' Roses, along with Dale Gazio from Missing Persons and Robin Zander from Cheap Trick. If you want to know any information on Enuff Enough, you can just check out enuffsenough.com or our Facebook or Twitter pages. It's pretty simple. See our tour dates. We start January 17th in Las Vegas, and we're out with Ace Frehley for about 2 months, and then we're going to be on the Rock Never Stops tour. I know we got a European thing coming up for a month and a half. I got to be honest with you, it's a blessing. I had no idea. Grandpa used to say, careful what you wish for, and now here it is. I got to go away. I got to leave my family and friends behind. But I have a task at hand, and that is to make Enuff Enough, get us back in the light where we used to be, and leave an indelible mark for all the fans out there, and try to bring back good memories. It's been a tough road, but I appreciate everybody's support. Without the fans, there is no rock band. And you look at all the groups that are out there right now, the Aerosmith and the Rolling Stones and the great groups, I don't know how much longer they're going to have because they're all getting a lot older. We're the next generation, and I want to keep this choo-choo train on the tracks for a while. So nothing but thanks and love to everybody out there who supported the band, and I'm looking forward to seeing everybody's faces out on tour next year.